Hi there, graphics and photography students. Today, what I'd like to do is show you how to get started with your new Adobe Creative Cloud account and how to get those apps that you're going to use for my class loaded onto your computer. A couple of key things to note beforehand. One, you're going to need a pretty powerful computer. A Chromebook isn't going to work. An iPad isn't probably going to work for these apps. You're going to need some kind of laptop or desktop that you can run some pretty professional level apps. So that's the first thing. The second thing, you're going to need a Wi-Fi connection because all of these apps are running in the Creative Cloud, which is basically connecting everything through a cloud-based service. So you're going to see that that's going to be really useful to have that Wi-Fi connection to run these apps. So to give you a heads up, I'm using kind of a dummy account right now. Obviously, if you can see my screen, I already have the apps. So I'm going to kind of go through the steps of what it would look like for you to get the apps. So if you notice, I'm in an email account. So you're going to go into your Celine Hornets email account. And in the inbox, you're going to see that there's an Adobe Creative Cloud access has been granted. Look at that. So this is a new version of software that the school has just purchased this summer. So you're getting the newest and best. So it's going to be pretty cool. So when you click on it, you're going to see it says you now have access to all apps for K-12, right? So you got to click this Get Started button. And if you notice here, look, I've done this already before. So it kind of skipped a couple of steps. So I'm going to tell you about the steps. First step that it skipped over is a step where it wants you to log in using your school Gmail account. It must be your school Gmail account. You have to log in there. Then it's going to pop up a second box that says, is this a personal account or is this a school or company account? You have to click school account. Click it. After that, then it'll pop you to this page. So for me, because I've already done this on this computer, it basically skipped those steps and went right to this logged me in automatically. It remembered, and there's no way to get out of it. So if you notice here, it says video student at salineschools.org. It's already logged in. So that's the key. And yours should say your Celine Hornets email address right here. Cool. Once you're here, you're on the Adobe website, and now you're actually at a point where you can start actually installing you can start downloading and installing the apps that you need. Okay, so if you're one of my photography students, you will need to download the Photoshop app. You'll need to download the Lightroom app. And this is a tricky thing here, what they've done. So you have to be careful here. So I personally use the Lightroom Classic app for all of the editing that I do. But since we are working mobile and we are working virtually this year, you might want to get into this Lightroom. It's just called Lightroom, but really this is like Lightroom Mobile is what this is. So Photoshop for sure. And if I were you, I might download the Lightroom and the Lightroom Classic apps. And we can talk about the difference between the two, and we can see how we're going to use those this year. So that's what you need if you're in my photography class. If you're in my graphics class, you're going to also need Photoshop. You're also going to need Illustrator. And you're going to need InDesign here. And just realize we may come back. I've thought about doing a couple of other projects that maybe would use some different things in it. InCopy is something we could get into if we get into InDesign. I've thought about doing some like animation, like a character animator or something like that. We'll see. We don't have to get them all right now. But if you start by getting Photoshop, Illustrator, InDesign, those are our three main designing apps. So get those three loaded onto your computer, and then we'll be ready to roll. And just a heads up, we won't be using these apps the first week of school. Hopefully, it's something we can get into in the second week of school where we start kind of getting into the apps. I just want to give you guys plenty of time to get things sorted out, get things installed, and then if you have any problems, concerns, or something's not working properly, you can drop me an email. And if I can't solve the problem, we can work with the tech guys here at the high school to help get you sorted out and get you the apps that you need. If you have any questions or concerns, send me an email. Thanks for watching, and I'm really looking forward to seeing you guys in front of me in the very near future.